Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gumball Sports Machine. And today we're rocking a little different, man. We're rocking a little different. We're not live streaming today. This is recorded. I'm gonna have to record it, edit it, things like that. Let me know how this goes. I thought about it a little differently. Maybe instead of the streaming, go to recording and editing and just posting the podcast. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know how it is. Let me know how it looks. May go back to it. Maybe go back to streaming in the future. I don't know, but I think I want to try this version right now. At least for a little bit, not for too long. But today is the 4th of July. So happy 4th to all of you. Obviously Independence Day for America, 4th of July, fireworks, barbecuing, eating, family, so things like that. So please have a great 4th. Man, I know it's gonna be a lot of fireworks out there and blown up, and some people go out and get crazy, the huge fireworks. Stay safe, man. You don't want to have a situation like JPP and blow 3 of your fingers off, and not be able to go to work the next day. So the next few weeks. But yeah, so happy 4th. Y'all stay safe, man. Have fun. Spend time with your family. That's always good stuff, man. Barbecue, eat some good food. And speaking of that food, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But as always, we start off first segment of the show. Nothing. This doesn't change. Never going to change. We go over the top sports stories of the past 2 days. Wasn't a show yesterday, but past 2 days. So, and that segment is called Something to Chew On. First off, Bronny was introduced formally to the Lakers, or not formally, but he was, I guess you could say formally introduced to the Lakers. He had a press conference along with Dalton Connect, along with JJ Redick. Rob Pelinka was there as well. He said that his main focus wasn't to play with his dad. A lot of people were thinking, Bronny wants to go to the NBA, play with his dad just as much as his dad wants to play with him. He's reiterated that his main focus was not to play with his father, but just to make it in the NBA in general. And he did just that. No matter how he did it or why or whatever, however he did it, or however the Lakers did it, he made it to the NBA. He signed a deal. He got a 4-year deal for $8 million as a second-round pick. Don't see that too much. Don't see that too often. But he made it. I do believe him when he says that, though. I believe him when he says that just because of how hard he had to work to get here, to where he is right now. He went through the cardiac arrest last year in August. Everybody was terrified. I can't even imagine as a father what LeBron was going through during that time, especially when he heard that news. So I believe him, and he says that he just wanted to get it to the NBA. Not necessarily, yes, it's cool to play with his father, but that wasn't the main goal. The main goal was to make it to the NBA, as he did. So for that, a lot of people should be proud of him, especially himself. Obviously, his father, his family going to be proud of him, but I hope he realizes what he has been able to do and make it to the league. And he's going to be playing in the summer league here in a few weeks. So we'll get to see what he looks like. I just don't like the way the Lakers went about it. Bob Myers reported, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's real. But during the second round of the NBA draft, Bob Myers said Rich Paul was calling other NBA teams to not draft Bronny, or else Bronny was going to go to Australia. I think that's literally what he said. He said, if you draft Bronny will go to Australia and not play for you guys. And so that's what Bob Myers said Rich Paul was calling and telling teams to do. Rich Paul was confronted by TMZ. I don't have the clip. He was confronted by TMZ, and they were asking him, like, hey, Bob Myers said you were calling teams. Were you calling teams? And he didn't respond. Again, I wish I had the clip. I should get it. Maybe I should get it. Maybe I'll get it for tomorrow. We'll see. But that's not the right way to go about it. That's just not. This is not the right way to go about it. Again, and I was kind of having this conversation with one of my boys. It's like, if Bronny has been standing by what he's been saying since he's been in high school, saying that his main goal is not to play with his father, he just wants to go to the NBA, like I was just saying, there's no reason why Bronny would go to Australia even if he wasn't picked by the Lakers. That's what doesn't make sense to me, right? Everybody's saying, oh, Bronny just wants to make it to the NBA. Bronny was just saying he just wants to make it to the NBA. Bronny is the one who changed his name originally from LeBron James Jr. to Bronny James, as everybody knows him now. So why would Bronny go to Australia even if he's picked by another team? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. And for Rich Paul to go out and start saying that stuff like that doesn't make too much sense to me either. So in terms of that, I think Bronny would have played for any team he would have been drafted for. If I'm being completely honest, I think he would have played for any team he would have been drafted for, just because of how hard he worked, just because of where he's come from, and quite frankly, because of that, he was drafted by the Lakers. He went to the Lakers. He's going to go play with his dad. He signed his deal, 4 years, $8 million. And speaking of his dad, LeBron signed a 2-year, $104 million deal. That's $52 million a year. And I'm going to get more into this in a few minutes. I'm not sure what the Lakers are doing in the offseason. I'm not saying signing LeBron is not the best thing for him. It absolutely is. But aside from LeBron, I don't know what Rob Pelinka and the Lakers are doing. I don't know how Rob Pelinka still has a job, if I'm being quite honest. So I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are the top names going into the WNBA All-Star game. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, rookies, obviously, going into the WNBA All-Star game. And again, what they have done for WNBA is insane, is ridiculous. What they've done for the WNBA, they've drawn my attention. They've drawn a lot of like big name attention. Shannon Sharp was at the Vegas versus Fever game the other day, and he was, and obviously we all know how big Shannon Sharp is. But you've seen all these different celebrities. You saw rapper Lil Durk go watch Angel Reese. You've seen all these different people go to the actual games. And with the WNBA All-Star game being here, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of celebrities here going to the game. Devin Booker was at the Mercury versus Fever game the other day. So was Matt Ishbia, obviously the owner of the team, and Coach Mike Budenholzer, the coach that the Suns just signed. So what Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have done for the WNBA has been fantastic. It's been amazing. Obviously the eyes that they've drawn, and obviously being all-stars as rookies, deservedly so. Angel Reese has had 11 double-doubles in a row, which is I believe is a single season record in all-time WNBA history. So she's had a phenomenal year. Caitlin Clark has had a phenomenal year. She's averaging, 17, 18 points, 5 assists, or 5 rebounds, and I think 6 or 7 assists. So she's had a fantastic year as a rookie. And these players are only going to get better. So they obviously they are the star names of the All-Star game going into. You also have stars like Enrique Gombouale, Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner, girls like that who have also had fantastic years for the WNBA. So it's going to be very fun. They have a different format this year. They have a very different format this year. They have Team USA. So the Team USA that's going to go play in the Olympics versus Team WNBA. So everybody, like the all-stars that are not on Team USA. And they're going to play against each other. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's very, very, very much more intriguing than the NBA All-Star game itself. Obviously, the NBA All-Star game got a very, very, very much criticized this year and not only this year, but for the past 4 or 5 years for just not being very competitive. And it was just that again this year. It wasn't very competitive, wasn't even very entertaining to watch. I think one team scored 200 points, and then the other team had like 180 or 190 or something like that. So not very much defense played at all. It's fun to see the skill players, all the All-Stars players play together, but it's not nearly as competitive as it probably should be. So again, call it what you want. It's not very entertaining if we're just being completely honest. But this new format for the WNBA is very, very interesting. I think it's going to get competitive. I think some of the I think there's going to be a lot more defense that's going to be played. And quite frankly, I think some of the Team WNBA All-Stars are going to be a little angry that they didn't make Team USA. So they're going to play a little harder to show why they should be on Team USA. And I think that's a very interesting and very intriguing part about this, is because You have girls like again, Alyssa Thomas, Arike Ogunbowale, who is one of my favorite players in the WNBA. You have girls like that just didn't make the USA team. And so I think they're gonna go out and I think they're gonna really try and prove why they should be on that team or should have been selected to that team. Obviously, Team USA has fantastic players. Like they have the best of the best. They have Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Kalia Copper, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd from the Storm. They have all these fantastic players, but I'm sure some of those players on Team WNBA believe that they got snubbed, and that's just what it is. So I believe that they're going to play a little bit harder because of that. So I'm very interested to watch. Obviously, again, the All-Star game being here in Phoenix. Very excited. I wish I could go. Don't know if I'll be able to go. But I think it's going to be a lot more competitive and a lot more entertaining, quite frankly, than the NBA All-Star game. Lastly, Draymond Green says the Warriors tried very, very hard to go out and get Paul George. Obviously, Paul George having gone to the 76ers and signing his huge deal in Philly. But he says that the Warriors had a valiant effort to go out and try and get Paul George. Personally, even if they did go out and get him, I don't think he'd be the best fit. Obviously, an aging Paul George alongside an aging Steph Curry, both very good players right now. I just don't know if they'd be able to compete in the West. I think they would make the playoffs. I think they'd probably be 7 or 8 seed, maybe. I just don't think that they would compete with the top teams in the West because a lot of these teams aren't going anywhere. Minnesota's not going anywhere. Denver's not going anywhere. These teams aren't going anywhere. OKC's not going anywhere. In fact, they just got better, a lot better, by signing trading for Alex Caruso and signing Isaiah Hartenstein. So these teams are getting better. Yes, you go out and get better with Paul George, but I don't think that's going to be enough for you to compete, even to come out of the West or even for a top seed in the West in the regular season. So I think it would have been an odd fit. I think it would have been interesting. I think it would have been fun to watch. Obviously, Paul George being the skilled player that he is and Steph Curry being the amazing player that he is, the all-time great that he is. I think that would have been fun to watch. I just don't think they would have been able to compete with the other teams in the West, like the Denver Nuggets of the world, like the Timberwolves of the world, like the Thunders of the world. Again, I don't think it would have been too much. I think Paul George made the right decision by going to Philly because now I think he has a better opportunity to go at least come out of the East in Philly. So with that team that they have over there, obviously playing with a top 3 player in Joel Embiid when he's healthy, and Tyrese Maxey, who's an up-and-coming point guard who's very, very good and will be very good for a long time. So it's going to be very interesting. And even then, they went and got a few more pieces, and Kelly Oubre and Eric Gordon, and then bringing Andre Drummond to back up Joel Embiid. So that team is really building something over there. So they might be second and third best team in the East right now. And so I think he has a better chance of possibly winning a championship with Philly than he does with Golden State. And so I think that might be the biggest reason why Paul George went to Philly. So, and I agree with him. So, and Draymond Green also likes to yap. He also likes to yap. So not everything Draymond says I necessarily believe. So I guess that's just it. It is what it is. But I do want to mention this really quickly. Dak Prescott was seen in a walking boot. I don't know if it happened if it was training. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he has been seen in a walking boot. Don't know the exact injury. It looks like it's a minor foot sprain. So he is on vacation in Cabo. And that's where he was seen with his walking boot. It's the injury was reported to be minor. Like I said, a minor foot sprain. Hopefully he's back and ready to go by training camp. We'll see. But that is just being reported. So that is interesting. That's an interesting note for the Cowboys and the quarterback of those Cowboys. But do want to get into the rest of the topics of the show. That is something to chew on. Every morning we go over the top sports stories of the day, or in this case of the past 2 days, and just inform the world on whatever is going on. But do want to get into the first topic of the day. LeBron James, mentioned it a little earlier, and something to chew on, signs a 2-year, $104 million deal to stay in La La Land with the Lakers. What a surprise. Everybody thought that he was leaving. No. Everybody knew that he was going to stay. It was just how much money he was going to stay for. Found out it was $52 million a year for the next 2 years. So again, and I'm not saying it's the wrong decision to bring LeBron back. You absolutely, if you're the Lakers, you absolutely have to bring LeBron back. It's just they have done nothing else in free agency. They've done nothing else. The biggest story that the Lakers have is going and drafting Bronny to pair with his dad. That won't make him a championship contender. That absolutely won't. Because as the Lakers right now, if by bringing LeBron back is saying, we still want to win a championship. They have done nothing else. They drafted Dalton Connect, who I think is a very good pick for them. I think Dalton Connect can be a Jaime Jaquez type player for the Heat, but instead Dalton Connect for the Lakers. I think he could be that type of player. I think he could be even better than that from his performance at Tennessee this year. He was one of the best players in the country. So I think that was a steal at 17 that they got. But in free agency, they haven't done anything. Trades, they haven't done anything. You could have went out and got maybe a James Harden. You could have went out and got maybe a Klay Thompson. And you didn't even wait until DeRozan got signed to bring LeBron back. So LeBron gave you an opportunity to go out and bring in somebody who could help him. To go out and bring in a free agent James Harden. Nope, he stays with the Clippers. To go out and possibly bring in a Klay. Nope, he goes to Dallas. And then to maybe even bring in a DeRozan, but then they got impatient, gave LeBron $52 million a year, and now there's no way you bring in DeRozan. So they've done absolutely nothing. They have not gotten better. They have not at all. And they weren't even that good of a team last year to not improve. You have to improve. You have to. Just like I said about the Warriors, the Lakers are kind of in that same boat because these West teams are not going anywhere, right? Again, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Clippers. Now, the Clippers, I understand, just lost Paul George, but they still have Kawhi Leonard if he's healthy, and they still have James Harden. And I also believe that they're going to go get DeRozan. But I don't want to say that for sure. I believe that DeRozan will be going to the Clippers. I'm not reporting that or anything. That's what I believe. So the Lakers have not done anything. I mean, the Suns have done more than they have, and the Suns have only minimum contracts to give out. Right? You bring back Royce O'Neal, and you have the ability to give him a little bit bigger contract because you have his bird rights. But you go out and you get Monte Morris, a point guard, who can be very, very, very effective for them because he doesn't turn the ball over. His assist to turnover ratio is ridiculous. So you go out and get a point guard. The Suns get better. And then the Thunder get better. And then the Timberwolves, they go out and draft Rob Dillingham to back up Mike Conley, to learn under Mike Conley, until they get better. So the Lakers haven't done anything. They've not done anything. Now, neither have the Nuggets, but the Nuggets also have the best player in the world. So I'm never going to count them out. The Nuggets have actually gotten worse, I believe. But these teams are getting better, and the Lakers are just standing pat. Again, Dalton Connect and Bronny James, who knows? They may be very good players, but they're not going to help you win a championship right now. They're just not. So it doesn't make any sense to me why they haven't gone out and made a splash, especially for agency, maybe even a trade. Again, blows my mind on why Rob Pelinka still has a job. It just does. I don't know if it's because LeBron can control him and he can kind of control what he does. Obviously, LeBron had a huge part in bringing JJ Redick in. He had even bigger part in bringing Bronny in. So again, I understand how much power LeBron has and how much control he has within the organization. But I wish he would use this control to maybe go out and make the team better, make the roster better. That's what doesn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm not, as a Suns fan, I'm not mad at it at all, not even a little bit. Because the Lakers, like I said, haven't gotten any better. Yes, you still have Austin Reeves and Rui and Anthony Davis. But those are the same players you had last year, and you got beat out in 5 games in the playoffs against the Nuggets. So, again, you're not getting any better. I guess you're not getting any worse. But LeBron is also aging. LeBron's getting older. Father time is undefeated. Father time is undefeated. And the Lakers have not gone out and made any impact whatsoever in free agency or the trade market. So we'll have to see what happens with the Lakers and what they do. If they do end up making a big splash, But right now, the Lakers are in the same position they are right now. If they stay in the same position, they will be a 7 seed, 8 seed once again. So that is so LeBron signs 2-year, $104 million deal to stay with the Lakers. Again, surprise to nobody. But it'll be interesting. Another sign and trade, well, not another, but a sign and trade happened this morning. Buddy Hield was signed and was traded to the Warriors from the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not sure what the Sixers got in return, but Buddy Hield is now a Golden State Warrior to replace Klay Thompson and possibly a new Splash Bros duo. Buddy Hield, let's not sleep on Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a very, very good basketball player. Buddy Hield has made the most three-pointers since 29 or 29 since 2019, and the second most three-pointers in the NBA behind Steph since 2016. So let's not sleep on Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a very good basketball player and has been for a long time. I just don't think he got the opportunity in Philly like he probably should have when he was traded from Indiana to Philly last year. So you put another shooter alongside Curry, a very good shooter at that. You bring in Buddy Hield. Again, all time, obviously, Buddy Hield can't really hold a candle to Klay Thompson. Right now, in this moment, Buddy Hield is a better player than Klay Thompson. I fully 100% believe that. He just is. The shooting ability is right there. Buddy Hield is a career 40% three-point shooter from the field, or a career 40% three-point shooter. Klay has 41, 42. And Buddy Hield, I don't know his stats exactly from last year, but I'm sure he shot around 40, 41% from the three because he's always been that. And I'm sure he always will be that just because of his ability to shoot the ball and get open. One thing about Buddy Hield, he can also move off the ball. So those plays that they run for Klay Thompson and Steph, you know, the screens that they go set around Draymond and Kevon Looney, and Buddy Hield can do the same thing. He can shoot moving. He can shoot off balance. He can shoot off the dribble. I think Buddy Hield can put the ball on the ground better than Klay Thompson can. He can pull the ball on the ground, get to the rim better than Klay Thompson can. Defensively, they are, I think, about the same right now. Klay might be a little bit better than Buddy Hield right now, but Buddy Hield is not a very good defender at all. So defensively, they're about the same. Klay might have a little bit of an edge on him, but that's not that big a difference defensively. So you're not going to get some drastic defensive change between Buddy Hield and Klay Thompson. But again, you bring in Buddy Hield, who's I think is the better basketball player right now than Klay Thompson. So again, it's a very good backcourt partner for Steph. And the Warriors are going out and they're trying to help Steph. They went out and got Kyle Anderson in free agency. I believe that was another sign and trade with Minnesota. So you bring in Kyle Anderson, you bring in Buddy Hield, you still have Draymond, you still have Kevon Looney, who I believe they're trying to trade. I don't know if they've been able to find a trade partner yet. But you have Kevon Looney. So you have Andrew Wiggins still. So there's still some players on this team that can have an impact and can make you a play-in threat. But right now, as this team goes, this team has no shot to make it anywhere in the West. Anywhere in the West. And I'm just keeping it 100. This team has no shot to make it anywhere in the West. And I'm talking about Golden State. Anywhere. Because you have Steph, who is obviously one of the greatest point guards of all time, the second greatest point guard of all time, in my opinion, but he's also aging. Steph is going to be 36 here soon. Again, his game ages well because he doesn't rely on his athleticism. He doesn't rely on, dunking and, doing all these crazy acrobatic. He doesn't rely on that. He relies on his shooting and his ability to dribble the ball. So his game ages very well. It's not going to age out, but he is also getting old, which means he may be a little bit more injury prone, which means he may need a little bit more help. And I love Buddy Hield, but Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson won't be championship contending pieces, especially when you only have Steph on your team. So, and Steph was amazing in 2022, but that was really the last amazing year he had. Now, again, like I said, it was amazing what he did in that year, but that was really the last amazing year he had. Quite possibly, maybe the last amazing year that he has in his career. So you're gonna need more help with Steph. You gotta have to get him more help. Again, Buddy Hield moves very well off the ball. You can run the same plays for him as you did for Clay and Steph, obviously, as both of them can move off the ball very well. And again, defensively, you don't really get an upgrade from Klay Thompson, but you don't get too much of a downgrade, if a downgrade at all, from Klay Thompson defensively. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Warriors are able to do. If they make another move, if they trade for another big piece, if they make a splash, a blockbuster trade, or if they go out and get maybe DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, I'm sure, is looking to go somewhere in California. Like I said, I think he's going to go to the Clippers, but who knows? Maybe the Warriors go out, they step out, give him a bunch of money to come here, or not come here, but go to Golden State and play alongside Steph, Buddy Hield, and all those guys, and Draymond. So it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do, to see if they can make a splash here in the rest of free agency and the rest of the offseason. But MLB All-Star starters were announced yesterday. I do want to start off by saying Ketel Marte is I love Ketel Marte. I love Ketel Marte. And the fact that he's starting for the second time in his career, starting at second base in the All-Star game, amazes me. It's I love it. I love to see it. He has been phenomenal this year. He's been the best second baseman in the league, not just in the National League, in the entirety of Major League Baseball. He leads all second basemen in home runs. He leads all second basemen in RBIs, and he leads all second basemen in OPS. He's just been the best. He's been the best second baseman by far the entire year. Last year, he was upset because he didn't make it, and he was visibly upset. Use that motivation for the rest of the second half last year. He was one of the best second basemen in the league in the second half of the year last year. Goes into the playoffs, dominates through the playoffs. Absolutely dominates and rakes through the playoffs. And it was the second best player in the playoffs, quite frankly, last year, behind Corey Seager, because Corey Seager was just, it looked like the baseball was a beach ball to Corey Seager, and he was just hitting everything out. But behind Corey Seager, Ketel Marte was that next best player throughout the playoffs. I guess you could throw Jordan in there. He had a pretty good playoffs. Maybe a few other players, but Ketel Marte has been fantastic since the second half of last year. And going into the playoffs last year and coming into this year, he's been the best second baseman in baseball, and it's really not even close. So he deservedly earned this spot, and he is the starting second baseman for the National League All-Star team. I absolutely love to see it. It makes me so happy. He works so hard, and he's amazing. Like, he's awesome. So I love Ketel Marte starting at second base in the All-Star game. Another thing that kind of stood out to me, Philly has 3 All-Star starters in the infield. They have Bryce Harper at first base, Alec Bohm at third base, and Trey Turner at short. Bohm and Harper I have no problem with. Bryce Harper has been amazing this entire year. He just has. He's been fantastic the entire year. Bohm has really been tearing the cover off the ball. He's a very good defender. That's never really changed. Alec Bohm has been a very good defender through his very young career. So that he's been fun to watch on defense. But now his bat is starting to come along with his defense. He's been hitting the ball very well. He's been barreling it up all season long. So I think very much deserves that third base spot. Trey Turner is a very interesting one to me. Mookie Betts did get hurt. And I think if Mookie didn't get hurt, Mookie would have that starting spot. But Trey Turner, he hasn't had the greatest of years. I think Mookie Betts deserves that spot either way, whether Mookie gets hurt or not. But Trey Turner did get it, and Philly has been amazing this year. The Phillies have just kind of been running through the whole league. I believe they have the best record in the league right now. So again, they deserve their spots in terms of the 3 infielders that they have starting in the All-Star game. So it'll be very interesting to see. Bryce Harper, I don't think will play. He's still hurt. It just depends on who replaces him. I have a very good idea who can replace him. Plays first base for the D-backs. Just homered twice yesterday against the Dodgers. Homered yesterday, has 3 home runs in the past 2 games, and is the best defensive first baseman in the league in Christian Walker. So Christian Walker, I think, should absolutely replace Bryce Harper if Bryce Harper does not play. And obviously, Torey Lovello being the manager for the National League, maybe bring in Christian Walker. If Zach Gallen has a very, very, very good next few games, he's going to pitch today. But if he pitches very well within the next few days or his next few starts, he may see an all-star appearance as well. So Bryce Harper is going to be out. Hopefully, Christian Walker slides into that spot because he's deserved it. He's had a phenomenal year. So All-Star game should be fun. Christian Yelich is starting in the outfield this year. He's finally starting to make a comeback. He was very dominant. I believe he won the MVP in 2018, was runner-up in 2019 behind Cody Bellinger. And Christian Yelich has kind of fought his way back into that top outfielder spot in the National League. He started in the All-Star game this year. He's had a much, much better year this year. He was not very good in 21, wasn't very good in 22 either. Last year, he was okay. This year, he's really gotten back to form that he was in 2018, 2019, when he kind of first landed in Milwaukee from Miami. So Christian Yelich is having a very good year. He's starting in the outfield. Jurickson Profar is started in the outfield. He's had a very good year this year. So the Padres actually have two starting outfielders. They have Tatis and they have Profar. So that's good for San Diego. I'm very happy for Jurickson Profar. He's had a very good year. So I'm glad that he's able to get this recognition that he's getting, being one of these starting outfielders in the National League for the All-Star game. So a lot of interesting pieces in the National League in terms of starters. Not really too many surprises in the American League. You have Judge and Soto in the outfield, obviously. You have Altuve at second base. Vlad, who's had a very good year. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Has had a very good year, especially in the past few weeks. He's really hitting the cover off the ball. So he's starting at first base. So definitely. Jose Ramirez at third base. He's had a fantastic year. I mean, him alongside with the Guardians have had a fantastic year. Steven Kwan starting in the outfield, who's batting like 360. So he's had a fantastic year as well. So definitely happy for Steven Kwan. He's had a great year. Juan Soto has been amazing. He's been amazing. He's going to get the Brinks truck backed up for him this offseason by the Yankees. He's going to get a lot of money. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball. He just is. I mean, he's been fantastic. He struggled. Like, he was really bad in the first week or so of the regular season, and then hit his first home run against us actually here in Arizona, and since then has taken off. I believe he has like 85 RBIs and like 32 or 33 home runs, and is batting above 300. And it's barely July. It is the 4th of July, and he has 33, 34 home runs and 85 RBIs, and it's July. So I won't be surprised if he wins another MVP this season, deservedly so, along with Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, obviously in the National League now, but he is having a phenomenal. He's been amazing. He's been amazing all year, but nobody should be surprised. Should be surprised. He's in the MVP race and he's not even pitching. And usually when he's pitching, he has a sub-3 ERA or around 3 ERA. So Shohei Ohtani is ridiculous. He's obviously in the MVP race in the National League because of the year that he's had. So definitely love Adley Rutschman making his first All-Star game as the catcher, again starting for the American League from the Orioles. So that's very interesting. That's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be really nice to watch. So it should be fun. I usually watch the MLB All-Star game. MLB All-Star game is usually what I'm most interested in. Or no, let me rephrase that. The All-Star game in which I'm most interested in when it comes to the three major pro sports that I watch. So it should be very fun to watch. Yeah, the MLB All-Star game is usually the one I'm most interested in when it comes to the three biggest pro sports in football, basketball, baseball. I'm usually most interested in the MLB All-Star weekend. So should be fun. Home run derby, All-Star game, things like that. Should be fun once again this year. Don't know who's going to be in the home run derby yet. All we know is Gunnar Henderson will be in there. I think he's the first one to actually commit to the home run derby this year. So that'll be fun. But a few 4th of July things. Every 4th of July, there's a hot dog eating contest. Don't know how many of you actually seen it or like pay too much attention to it. But first of all, this might be one of the most disgusting things I've ever watched. And that's not any disrespect to the contestants that actually compete in the hot dog eating contest, but to see these people's mouths full of like hot dog and bun, and I mean their cheeks full. They look like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. I mean, and it's just cheeks full with like bread around their mouth. And it's not very, it's not very nice to watch. Especially if you have a weak stomach, it's kind of nasty. Um, personally, like if I'm just eating hot dogs, I can maybe have two and then I'm done. And that's like right off the grill. Um, Either right off the grill or like maybe if you're baking, like I don't know who bakes hot dogs, but I definitely can't eat hot dogs out the microwave. That is disgusting. If you put hot dogs in the microwave, I can't eat. No, I'm not eating that. That's disgusting. If you boil hot dogs, you are a menace to society. You need to be locked up deep in a prison somewhere if you boil hot dogs. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. So definitely not eating any boiled hot dogs, but off the grill with some ketchup, some barbecue sauce, maybe a chili cheese dog, two, maybe. I mean, two max. I mean, if I'm really hungry, maybe I could go three, maybe. But I mean, that's just not the biggest hot dog guy. Again, I could go for a chili dog. Chili dogs are nice. I can definitely knock back some chili dogs, but regular hot dogs, yeah, two maybe. Let alone 50 plus. These people be eating 50 plus, dipping them in water so they get some soggy, and these people are insane. But you know, to each his own. To each his own. They go and they make their money doing this stuff, and I'm not. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? But there was a hot dog eating contest again today, the annual 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Joey Chestnut was not in this one. I think Nathan kicked him off. Is not allowing him to participate in any more of their contests because I think he had some deal with a vegan hot dog company, and he was like promoting them, and so Nathan kicked him off of their promotion or their team, and so Joey Chestnut is no more longer allowed to compete in these Nathan hot dogs eating competitions. So we did not see Joey Chestnut, which opened the door for Patrick Bertoletti to win his first mustard belt after eating 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Again, no condiments, no ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, whatever it was. 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I don't think you understand how much I would I would vomit. Like there would be gallons of my vomit in there if I were to even attempt to eat 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. It would be the most vile thing you've ever seen. That is wild. That is insane. Again, teach his own. I'm not here to judge. So again, that's just what people do. It is what it is. Lastly, this is a interesting topic I saw the other day. Obviously, you see a lot of celebrities doing different types of hobbies. Obviously, you see rappers and actors. They don't just act. When they're in their free time. They like to do other things. One of those things is play basketball. And so there's a lot of celebrity hoopers or celebrities who do hoop, and some of them are actually pretty decent. You have guys like Justin Bieber. You have guys like Pete Davidson. Chris Brown is another one who I didn't even put on this list. 21 Savage hoops. Who else? Adam Sandler hoops. Drake hoops. I think Lil Durk hoops. So there's a lot of different hoopers. And so the question was put out there: who was the best celebrity hooper? And again, you have all those options that I just gave you. Personally, I'd probably put Chris Brown on that list because Chris Brown can on a basketball court, and so when it comes to pickup, he can shoot the ball. He can put the ball on the ground and go to the basket. He can. I don't know if he's maybe a very good defender, but a lot of players or a lot of hoopers in general don't really play too much defense nowadays. So maybe he can play defense, maybe he can't. But I've seen him shoot the ball, seen him take the ball to the basket. I've seen him put the ball on the ground. But in terms of like kind of actor celebrities who maybe don't hoop as much, Pete Davidson is a hooper. He's a comedian. He's an actor. I didn't know he could hoop like this. I mean, there's clips of Pete Davidson going and finishing at the rim strong, shooting the ball a little bit. I haven't seen too much of his jump shot, but I think he can shoot the ball a little bit. He could pass the ball. He could put the ball on the ground, get to the basket. He has a decent handle. I did not know Pete Davidson was a hooper like that, man. So that was really cool to see. But in terms of Justin Bieber, Pete Davidson, Adam Sandler, and Drake, I'd probably take Pete Davidson, man. Again, he's obviously doesn't weigh very much, so I can't imagine him bodying anybody up. But he can go, he can finish through contact at the rim, he can shoot the ball a little bit. Again, I haven't seen too much of his jumper, but I've seen highlights, and he can hoop, man. He can hoop. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know he hooped for real. Like so Pete Davidson, man, that's probably who I put up there. But that is going to close out this edition of Gumball Sports Machine on the 4th of July. 4th of July edition, man. Today, as you can see, I was rocking solo dolo. So again, happy 4th of July, man. You guys have a fantastic 4th of July. If you do eat hot dogs, go ahead and you eat all the hot dogs you want, burgers, wings, whatever it is. Hope you all have a great 4th of July, safe 4th of July. Again, if you're going to blow out fireworks, just be safe, man. Don't blow off any of your fingers. Make sure you're a safe distance away from the firework when you light it. Obviously, you see the videos of people lighting the firework and sprinting and taking off. So hopefully you're safe, man. I really want you to be safe. Don't blow anything up or hurt anybody or whatever it is. Especially if you've got like the big ones. I mean, people like go out of the country to go get these huge fireworks. So stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Obviously, 4th of July is a lot of people like to drink beer and alcohol on 4th of July. So as you should. But just be safe. Don't do anything crazy. But most important thing, have fun with your friends and family, man. Celebrate it. But that's going to close it out for myself here on this edition of the Gumball Sports Machine. I will be back tomorrow. Again, this is a recording. It's not a live stream. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe if you want me to go back to the streaming, if you want me to stay and record these, if it's a little better content, a little better quality. So let me know. But again, I'll be back tomorrow, probably with another recording. Don't know if I'll be by myself or with somebody else. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Either way, we'll be back. Thank you guys for watching, man. If you are out again, I don't ask too much. If you see this video, hit the like button, man. Sub. I think I have some pretty good content, especially when I'm on, even when I'm on my own, man. But if you do like it, hit the like button. If you do want to keep watching, hit that sub button, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow on Friday. And again, y'all be safe. Happy 4th, man. And see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.